Well, I should probably get out of bed because this month isn't going to reset itself. Yes, the end of the month is approaching, so it is time for another monthly reset. We're going to start this party in the office, as we typically do, because the first part is a physical space reset. I've already written my list of the stuff that I want to accomplish in today's reset. I find that going in with a plan is much more helpful than just making it up as I go along. I end up doing a more thorough job and get more satisfaction out of it. Plus, if I have the list organized ahead of time, I can tick the things off as I go and feel like I'm making progress. As you can see, the physical space reset is definitely in need of doing because my desk is, as per usual, a mess. And all of this stuff needs to get put away. Tidying is always more fun with music, so we're turning on the computer, jumping into Spotify, and putting on my upbeat playlist, which is effectively just all of my happy upbeat songs that make me feel pumped and get me energized for the day. The tidying process is very much just that. It is a tidy, so really just putting things away into homes that they already have. I don't want this to be a task where I really have to engage my mind. It is the first thing I'm doing in the morning and the first part of my reset, so I don't want to spend a whole lot of energy trying to make big choices. This is why come the end of the office tidy, there are still things that don't really look like they've been put away properly, and that's because they don't have an official home yet. I actually kind of want to redo my office, and I know I literally just soft finished it at the start of this year, but I already have thoughts about what isn't quite working and what I want to improve on so it's a more useful and peace-inducing space. That is certainly not a project for the monthly reset though, so I am not starting on that today. You can see it's already looking a lot better. There is still some stuff on the desk and a couple of things that aren't quite so tidy. But for instance, this camera stays plugged in and I kind of need like a little storage bay or something for it. It's kind of just sitting on top of the box at the moment, but that is a future me problem. And we also have this gorgeous pile of boxes on the floor. Some of them are empty. Most of them aren't, and they have a whole bunch of stuff that I need to find homes for. But that's the thing with the monthly reset. Dealing with that pile of stuff isn't my typical physical space tidy. That's something that's more of a project that needs a little bit more thought. So it gets added to the brain dump, whereas the rest of the physical reset is just putting things away in places that I know they belong. Similar idea with the stuff we have in this corner. So these pencil cases have various collections of pens for different projects. The projects are kind of in progress at the moment, so I don't want to put the pens away and then have to get them out again. Similar idea with the washi tape. That tape is for my October setup, so I'm keeping that out because I'm gonna need to use it. It's kind of a balancing act of putting things away so that the space feels nice and tidy and, calms my mind because of it, but also not doing future me any kind of disservice by having to then do a whole bunch of admin to get stuff back out again. We always do the physical space reset first, so that then when we're running around the office getting hot bothered and sweaty or whatever, we can then get to the physical self reset and wash it all away and feel nice and clean and ready to tackle other parts of the reset. But the monthly reset shower isn't just any shower. This is like full body scrub, hair mask, face mask, face scrub, whatever it is. All that nice kind of pampering stuff that we don't usually do in a regular shower session. Which is good because I feel yucky. Gotta make sure that we pick out our nice, fresh, comfy clothes for after the physical self reset. And yes, of course they're black because that is all I own. It's just another way to add another layer to this nice and clean slate feeling. So getting out of the shower and feeling very fresh from that, but then being able to put on your most comfy clothes after that, it just like takes it up a notch. Then using your skin and hair products of choice, it's time to get into the shower. Which I will not be taking you with me for obvious reasons. So, see you in a bit. After giving everything the good scrub it deserved, it was time to get out of the shower, make sure that we squeegee it down, chuck on my hair towel, get out literally every moisturizer I own, and apply every single one of them to my skin. I also took the opportunity to shape my nails, because I don't do it anywhere near as often as I should, and brush my teeth so that we really seal the deal on feeling fresh. The last bit for the physical self-reset is to do my hair, or rather just comb it into a shape that isn't a complete mess, and start to get ready for the next stage in our resetting process. I'm just gonna leave my hair to dry naturally, but the next step is a digital space reset. Unsurprisingly, this one is done on the computer, but I'm actually going to start by writing out a little list for myself of the steps that I need to take. The first part of the digital reset is an inbox zero, and for this I'm in particular talking about my email inbox, which certainly needs some attention. What I'm mainly looking to do here is get rid of any emails that have served their time. Either they've been in my inbox for such a long time that they're not really relevant anymore, or maybe I was saving them for a reason in particular and that reason is no longer relevant, effectively so that I can just be left with the things that do need my attention and maybe do need me to respond to them. I didn't realize quite how many emails I had that needed responding to, so I'm also going to make that part of my digital reset right now, because if I don't do it now, I'm going to procrastinate it, it's not going to get done. So Technically not part of the reset usually, but part of the reset today. Some of these emails had been sitting in my inbox since the start of August, so they very much needed to be gotten back to. Email is one of those things that I'm not really all that great at. I do tend to procrastinate these, so I probably want to be a little bit more vigilant about my inbox zero process with each of my weekly resets along with my monthly reset. I'm usually pretty good at clearing out emails that don't need a response, but the ones that do need a response, they take me a while to deal with. The digital reset isn't just about my inbox zero though. We do have some other areas to consider. In particular, decluttering my downloads folder, also decluttering my desktop because that's been getting kind of cluttered up recently, and also doing a digital reset of a space that I haven't in a while. Something that I don't do with every one of my monthly resets, but I thought might be a good idea this time, was an Instagram reset. So just going through my following list, getting rid of anybody who's not really posting, getting rid of anybody who I'm not really taking inspiration from right now. And I actually ended up getting rid of quite a bit of my list. So if you have any recommendations of Instagram accounts that you like to follow, I would love to hear them. But the next part of the digital reset is to get rid of all of the files that I have sitting on my desktop. I used to be super vigilant about not having anything on my desktop except for the recycle bin, and I don't know when it changed or why, but my desktop has been getting super cluttered this year. I'll oftentimes save files directly to the desktop because in making them, I know they're only temporary, I'm not going to be keeping them long term, so maybe I'm just not making the effort to file them away. But in doing this desktop reset, I wanted to make sure that every single thing except the recycle bin was off the desktop. It's either been deleted or put into a folder that makes a lot more sense for it to be in. I do certainly hope that I'll be able to find those again whenever I come to look for them. But one of the biggest issues that I have with storing things on the desktop is that then they're not in the cloud, which means I can't look at them on my iPad or on another computer or whatever else. So it will at least be nice to know that the files that I have decided to keep are going to be more accessible because they're saved somewhere more sensible. Desktop finished, but that doesn't mean that I'm quite off the computer yet. I still had to do my downloads folder and then deal with any folder entropy. This is just going through my most used folders and making sure that things are where they should be, things are appropriately named, that kind of stuff. The digital reset process can take a while if you don't do it regularly, and I have been neglecting mine, so it did take me a hot minute. But again, having it done does give me that clean slate feeling for the new month. It's good to note that as we've been going through each of these steps, I've been adding to my brain dump as I go. As things come up, I don't want them to distract me from my reset process, so I just jot them down into the brain dump section in my journal so that I can deal with them at an appropriate time. Now as the digital space reset is done, it's time to do my budgeting review, and usually this would involve going through my budget, looking through all of the spending and all of the different areas, that kind of stuff. But we have 2 days until the end of the month, which means it's not going to be completely up to date anyways. And 2, I've actually decided that I'm going to be doing my budgeting reviews every month consistently on the first Thursday of the month for the month prior. Mainly so that way all of the transactions for the month are done, any existing payments that need to come in or go out will be finished, and it also means that I will be less likely to get behind on filling in my budget, like populating the spending or income or whatever else, because I have a tendency to neglect it and then it snowballs into this huge task. But I find that if I set aside time on a specific day to do this kind of thing, it's more likely to get done. So that's what we're going with. As part of this though, I am going to update my no spend tracker in my yearly collections journal and also write in my spend trend statement for the month, even though I can't calculate the full overall total for the month or specify exactly how many yes and no spend days I had. The next part of the reset is to do a goal review, and because we are moving into a new quarter, we did this together as part of a live workshop, but I do still have to populate sections in my journal related to goal review, so we're going to do that. This involves doing my end of month reflection, so writing down any of my wins from the month, any challenges that I faced, any kind of improvements that I think I could make or kind of learnings from the month, and also any memories or kind of milestone moments. The 2 boxes that say Bujo at the start are for reflecting on my journaling or my kind of journal layouts, anything I did or didn't like about those layouts. So this could be things like the color palette, it could be about the structure of the layouts, it could be any of the pages that I got good use out of or not so good use out of. I like to do this reflection so that then it can inform my bullet journaling practice moving forward. The boxes at the bottom though, one of those is for looking forward to / nervous about, so it's kind of like looking ahead and thinking about the things that I'm getting excited for and the stuff that I'm a little bit tentative about. The one in the middle is just to list out the goals that I worked on in the month, and then that lower right corner is for my financial review.
So how much I spent, how many no and yes spend days, what the overall success rate for that was, and the spend trend statement that we wrote before. Because this is also the end of a quarter, we're going to do a quarterly review on that right-hand page. So it's very much thinking about similar kind of stuff, but more so over the last 3 months rather than just the last month in particular. For this one, I keep it to only 6 categories, so wins, challenges, and memories, and then things that helped or hindered my goal progress, and any learnings that I can take forward to working on my goals in future.
Now as my reflections are done though, it's time to actually do my goal setting processes for quarter 4, but that would be spoilers, so we're going to move right along to my planner reset. This is stuff like getting my current monthly pages closed out, populating next month's pages, and effectively just getting it so that I can hit the ground running come the start of next month.
The full population of my October pages has been filmed for a video for my team members, so if you see my hands waving around in an interesting way, it's because I was actually talking through what I was doing. If you're already a member of the team with a capital T, then you have that one to look forward to at the start of October, but in general, I'm just working through each of the pages in my setup and populating it in full, so as said, I can hit the ground running come the new month. I find it really important to have these things filled in before the month starts, just because I find that I end up having a much more productive month as a whole if it's ready to go on day 1. It's this weird thing that even if I fill it in on day 2, I get this weird feeling like I'm lagging behind for the month even though there's still plenty of the month left to go. So getting it filled in ahead of time as part of the monthly reset is really helpful. As part of this, I'm also setting my high bar and low bar expectations for my self-care habits for the month. This is something that I've found has worked really well for me in the month of September, so I wanted to expand it to my other self-care habits. At the moment, I'm just using it for daily exercise and getting to bed at a reasonable hour, where my low bar for exercise is doing only 2 minutes of it, which for some people probably sounds laughable, but it's that really tiny step that I need to actually get me started. A lot of the time, getting started is the hardest part, so having the bar for entry set super low means that I'm actually more inclined to do it, and oftentimes end up doing way more than just the 2 minutes. I like to think of it as giving myself partial credit. As said though, the full population video for my October pages is going to be available to team members come the start of October, so if you wanted to join the team with a capital T, make sure to check out the details in the description box.
Having all of that stuff filled in for the next month just really gives me that cool, calm, collected feeling, like I know what's going on for the month ahead, and I'm feeling prepared to actually get in and get stuff done. I am potentially looking to add more steps to my monthly reset, so if there's anything that you include in yours that I'm not already doing in mine, I would love to hear about it. Let me know in the comments below, but otherwise, if you're still looking for more reset inspiration, this playlist is the one to check out, so click or tap on that one and I'll see you over there.